Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Redwood Acres Raceway Series Thursday night. Jacobs TV 120 from Irwindale in the booth tonight. You're going to have DJ and Steve with the Driving DJ Network, having some fun watching these guys go around the tricky oval in California for this California-based series. Steve, what's going on, man? How you feeling tonight?
Having a good night, man. Excited to be back. I was with you earlier in the week for the first race, and it's cool to get back and see some of the more familiar names. You know, the longer you do it, the more history you kind of get announcing these guys, and already seeing some familiar names on the top of the leaderboard there. So, yeah, excited to be back for some racing here on Thursday night at Irwindale Speedway.
Absolutely. These guys have been running pretty hard Mondays and Thursday nights. This is one of their almost mid to end races of the season. These guys are running a pretty good points battle right now as we're digging along. We'll tune this music down a little bit, take a good look at some cars out on the track right now. Currently Gary Kleintob with a heck of a lap put down. He's sitting there on pit road right now, but he's got fast time. Random White out here in second. So take a look here at the point standings of the night. We got a new layout here, so we'll be dabbling with those buttons and all this stuff here. So don't mind me if you see something you haven't seen before. Be pretty cool. Got a new logo up in the screen there. You see the Jacobs TV up there as well. Pop off the track here. Check out the point standings. It'll overlay over this stuff. But you see Bailey Turner with a good run, finishing third on Monday behind Eugene Palmer and Isaiah Gill. Isaiah Gill with his first win of the season, Steve. He was looking pretty sharp in that Mountain Dew Baja Blast car at South Boston.
Yeah, that was survival for him, man. That you know, he pretty much was the only guy that didn't have problems throughout the night. Made some questionable decisions with pitting that I thought were going to bite him, and it turned out that he kind of got lucky and still prevailed with that victory on Monday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely showed some speed, and then ended up not taking tires late like some other guys did. Kind of kept track position and got a green-white checkered there at the end and held off. Got to a big lead, actually, while Palmer pretty much held off Bailey Turner as he went for like 11 sets of tires or something. So I talked to Brett Merle, who we're currently checking out right now in the 11 car, and he mentioned that they're doing some rule changes like we mentioned earlier, and they're kind of keeping up with everything. We're not actually going to have a C main tonight, so it's just going to be a B main, but transferring is going to be a little different here. I'll go through my notes, pulling them up right now, but let's see here. So the heats are going to take 4 each, so it's going to be basically 4 heats. 16 are going to make it out of the heats, and then taking 6 from the B main. It is a random invert, and the quick repairs are down from 2 to 1. So it's going to be a little difficult, a little more difficult for these guys, as they're not going to have as much freedom, so to speak, to mess up or anything like that. So with that, Steve, it's turning more slowly and more quickly into a more realistic deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think these guys, you race a little bit different when you know you got unlimited quick repairs versus you only got one. I think all of a sudden on lap 10, you're not going to maybe bonsai it into the corner and hoping it works, knowing that you only got one quick repair. But what I've seen with iRacing, whether it be this series or any other series, the more races that these guys are getting under their belt, the cleaner the races seem to be, the more familiar they're getting with other drivers. So again, it's almost one of those, hey, you got to be in your best behavior tonight, guys. And we'll see how it turns out with the different rules. No, C mains, so guys are going to have less chances to make it into the show. So yeah, it should be interesting here tonight.
Absolutely, going to make those heats almost more, difficult and more pressure to make it into the big show. You know what I mean? So going to have to definitely keep it in one piece in the heats, and I'm pretty sure they're only going to get one repair there as well. So.
Practice continuing here, as you mentioned earlier. Gary Kleintob still on the top of the board. Brandon White second. Brett Murrell, Bailey Turner, and Brian Murrell Jr. rounding out your top 5. Man, really liking the new graphics package that you put together, DJ, showing the top 10 of speeds there in practice.
Yeah, we got the top 20 scrolling, but right now only 21 cars, so that's going to bounce around. You see Slick Rick Tillman there in that U.S. Army 14 car. He's not out there right now, but he's your 21st car. So as the race goes on and, cars kind of get knocked out, we might end up only using this top 10, but right now we're sitting pretty here with these 20 cars. You can see your favorite driver there on the left-hand side of the screen. The Klein Tobe out there now cooking. Right now in that 39, looking pretty sporty here. These guys are really close though, Steve. The top, I mean, everybody from a 19500 to a 19912 is the top to the bottom. 4/10 separate these 20 cars tonight.
Yeah, really looking forward to a good one, man.
We got about 20 minutes left of practice for this one. This one's a pretty special one for that 47 car. Not out here right now. Michael Lawrence, that's Cheeseburger Motorsports. His son is the professional at the Jacobs TV, the Jacobs that YouTube channel there, youtube.com/Jacobs TV. Does his own little videos. They look pretty cool. He's a junior pit reporter for the Redwood Acres Raceway series, so he's got his own little business he's working out, and he's repping these guys here. You see Merle go around. Mike going to get into him there. But pretty cool for him to step it up there, and those guys at Cheeseburger Motorsports to get themselves out there and spread a little bit of word for their channel.
One thing I like about this series, they go to different tracks every week too, so that's kind of a nice little mix. Some tracks stay at the same track every week, and the guys seem to get better and better the more weeks they're turning laps on the same track. But at a little bit big, wide racetrack here, lots of room to pass going into the corners. Again, like with that, only one kind of quick repair deal. Again, that might help them out here with this track. Yesterday, or I should say last week, when we ran the other series on Monday. So we mentioned, the bottom obviously was fast, but as the night went on, everybody was kind of fighting for that high groove as the tires ran down. Where do you think everybody's going to be running at tonight, DJ? Not really familiar with this track. Is this a two-groove track throughout the night, or do you think eventually everybody's going to be either on the top or the bottom?
Well, you can see here as we were on board with Brad Curtis, he's trying to track down the 33 car of Andrew Ward. The top side is the side to be at. It's where the speed's at. It's progressive bank track. I mean, closest to the wall, the better kind of thing. Getting a lane. It's kind of like ORP. It's just a smaller version, a little nittier and grittier. So, pretty cool to see this view of it. But, I mean, yeah, you almost have to do kind of like a slide job as we just saw. Not sure if he got by Ward or not, side by side still, but passing's definitely going to be a premium, and once again, track position is going to be absolutely monumental in this race. Got Sable out here in the 16 car, sitting 11th right now. Just under 20 minutes to get rocking and rolling around here.
I'm just working through some stuff here up in the booth, DJ. I'm getting a stream paused. DJ has minimized their window, sit tight on my end, so trying to figure some stuff out. I'm not ignoring you, just trying to...
Not a problem.
Stream back here.
Not a problem. We're just checking these guys out. Clifford Meyer sitting in 15th. He's had some good runs all season long. Consistent driver. Not a whole lot of bad luck. These guys have put on some pretty good shows. So the races have lasted, quite a bit, but holding out to the end. There's been a lot of talent, bouncing, right in this top 10. You see Klein Tobe, I haven't seen a whole lot in the top 10, so this is a really good run for him. Hopefully he gets himself a good qualifying run, stays up here all night. I'd love to see that 39 car run good. And then you got Brandon White. He's out there right now, driver out of North Carolina, but he's originally from California, so he's cutting some laps with these guys and knows a lot of these guys of the Redwood Acres Raceway series. So awesome to see him out here. Kevin Ostern, he's cutting some laps in that black and orange 36 car. Don't have a lot of info on him. Assuming he's a friend or a crew member from that area as well. Tyler Peach making some laps. He was in the top 5 in points earlier in the season. Trying to wheel that orange 27 around. Currently sitting in 7th spot. Peach is a young gun in the series, only 24 years old. He's a champion, though, for the Road Runners and Roadrunner champion in 2016 and 2017. Right now, though, he's working on some legend stuff. So he's got one of them Yamaha 1250s or 1200 open motors, and he's working on making that thing go around. Those things are crazy hard to drive, super narrow wheelbase, and quite a handful, a lot of horsepower for how light they are. I'd be looking like Magilla Gorilla in there. I'm a big dude, 6'2", 250, so you know, you're definitely gonna have no weight in that thing. It's gonna be like a go-kart for me, but a lot of those smaller guys and whatnot love those things. As you see him working on the 7 car right now, Clifford Meyer. See who else we got riding around here. Pretty much the same 6 right now. A lot of guys made time early. Gable going around. Andrew Ward getting together a little bit there. Hang on to it, boys. Hold that reset. Kleintobe nowhere to go. He's ricocheting off these guys. Here they all come. Peach gets an accident. Oh, Brendan White. Hang on to that thing, man. Give it an old reset and you'll be fine. Kleintobe going around. Appreciate everybody jumping onto the Driving DJ Network. We broadcast and stream some races. We did some racing yesterday. We're doing both racing and broadcasting tomorrow, so it's going to be an action-packed night there. Going to be about 6:30 Central is when we get rocking and rolling in that. But full schedule to be posted later tomorrow. Could be fun. We race at South Boston in our Grundy series. Private league for a local track, just like these guys are doing here for this Redwood Acres Raceway series. 120 laps here tonight. Really excited for that.
Again, DJ, just working through some technical stuff up here in the booth. I have launched your live stream through Discord, so I can go to Facebook and watch it there. Just going to obviously be a delay, so I don't know. That may be going again. I'm still here, though. Just letting you know.
No problem at all.
And not for a reason. Just like I said, trying to figure it out. I just keep getting a stream paused. You're minimized your window, and that's what I'm getting in Discord. So again, I can see it fine on Facebook now. It looks like this is popping back up, so we'll hopefully be good to go here again.
Awesome.
About 14 minutes left on the clock. You know, we talked about this last week, and we've talked about it through some other races that we've done. You know, how early, you know, do these guys have to go out and try to lay down the best time possible? Because after a while, it seems like you know, the track gets rubbered up, and you know, most of the top guys on the board aren't changing. It seems like everybody wants to get out there early as possible, lay down the lap, they'll know what they got, and then they kind of sit on it in the pits. You almost don't want to dial yourself out. Some guys go out, get a good time, and then they'll work on it for 25 minutes and actually get it worse. So looks like some guys working on it still, some guys happy with what they got in the top you know, 10 pretty much seems to stabilize with who's up there.
Yeah, these guys are, you know, trying to figure it out. This isn't the easiest track, you know, as you're trying to wheel these big boats around. You want to keep it on the edge, you know, the whole time. You hear these tires squealing. See the 7 car pushing it all the way up to the wall, almost wall riding a little bit. It used to be kind of a glitch on iRacing, but they made it so it does slow you down now, so that's pretty cool to see. But some good views as we look at a Merle's 11 car here. He may still be inside that 7, and he is. We'll look out the back view here. You'll see Clifford Meyer in the 7 car wheeling it with a little bit of damage. trying to get these things turned, though, is going to be a challenge, especially as the laps tick off.
Yeah, loving all the different views you're using, letting the fans kind of, see the forward view, the backwards view. I know you're one of those guys that likes to go up in the air and show the view up there. Those are great for restarts and when the field's all bunched up. So yeah, just really looking forward to a great broadcast here tonight for the Jacob TV 120.
Yep, should be a good time. This is a fun track, and I mean, with the talent these guys have, man, 20 cars going at it, or 18, or whatever they start, it's the cream of the crop out of this league. So it's really cool to see these guys digging all night long and seeing the strategies play out as some guys take tires, some guys don't. We've seen in the super late model league that guys just don't take tires sometimes, and that's what it takes. It's just keeping out in front, staying ahead of the mess is all you need in order to get to victory lane.
Well, a lot of strategy involved, even if it's street stocks. You see it in NASCAR, you see it in IndyCar, all the way down through the late model ranks, but street stocks as well. Sometimes you want tires every pit stop if you can get them, but track position is so tough. Last week we saw Monday how hard it was to kind of get through the field, avoid the caution. So like Gillen, the 3-car, he decided, I'm just gonna stay out with what I have and let those guys maybe get tires and hopefully they don't get to me. And it worked out for him on Monday, putting that Baja Blast number 3 car in victory lane. But man, the 9 of Bailey Turner, he was coming about 3 separate times, pitted. I think he pit for tires probably at least 5-6 different times, and just ran out of laps to get to the leader. But such a great race there at the end.
Yeah, man, he was definitely coming. He's here tonight. He's currently sitting in 6th. Merle Jr., we haven't seen out there in the 74. He's here. Isaiah Gill, last race's winner, is here. Gannon Cyphers, his 2nd race of the series. He's here. Josh McMillan, Jason Chan, Michael Lawrence, as we mentioned with Cheeseburger Motorsports. James Moore in the 61. Deegan Cooker, Palmer's here. Siri Reed's here. All those guys haven't really made laps that we've been able to catch. But 21 cars making some laps, and I mean, yeah, just kind of trying not to wear it out, but 10 minutes left, so no time like the present. Fixed setup, so we'll be able to check out what speed everybody's running.
Now, are these guys on a fixed setup every week, JJ, for the fans at home, to let them know, what they kind of got going at every race?
Yep, yeah, these guys are fixed setups, so they're running the iRacing setups, and can't do much to them other than your steering offset, your steering ratio, so the speed of which the wheels react to your steering input, and then your offset. So if you're one of those guys who kind of always wants a degree of wheel into it, you put it on +1 or -1, and instead of going down the wheel, going down the straightaway and your wheel pointed straight up at 12 o'clock being straight, straight is actually when you're at 12:15, 12:30, 1 o'clock, where you have the wheel turned and you hold it straight when you're in the corner. So it's definitely a driver preference thing, but it can definitely help some guys be more comfortable, which in turn gives you some speed.
Well, Gary Kleintobe has been on the top of the charts for just about our whole way here. He finally got knocked down to the number 2 spot. Brad Curtis in the 24, knocking down a fast lap, and it's pretty tight with these guys within 2/10. The whole top 10, even further down than that, within 2/10 of a second of each other. Qualifying is definitely going to be exciting to watch, and that feature is going to be better a little bit down the road tonight.
Absolutely. We're seeing the 24 car kind of sliding the wall and wall riding a little bit. Not going to be the case. He might get damaged out, as we've seen some guys have issues with that damage limit. So he's kind of using and abusing the track right now, but I don't think that's going to work come feature race time.
Well, that's how we put it on the top of the board, hanging it out there, maybe seeing how far he can go before he gets into trouble. And like you said, every other corner he gets high and bounces off, but it's fast in practice. This is when you want to kind of experiment and see what you got. Do I go high and hang it out and see if it'll hold for a lap or two? And that might be some stuff that will help him work a little bit later in the race. If he's running 3rd with 2 to go, he's going to use that move and shoot to the high side and try to hold it for 2 laps, while he's also trying to manage that damage on that car as well. But yeah, a little bit faster lap a few laps ago, so he's on the top of the board now by almost a full 1/10 of a second. Gary Kleintobe second, Brandon White third, Brett and Brian Murrell Jr. rounding out your top 5. Bailey Turner down to 6. That's actually pretty far down compared to where he normally is. Kevin Ostern, Isaiah Gill, last week's winner, Tyler Peach, and Gannon Cyphers rounding out your top 10. What about Gannon Cyphers? Rookie, driver with these guys last week. Up and down night, didn't make it, was running good, could have transferred in, got caught up in somebody else's mess, finally made it into the feature, running good again, got into somebody else's mess. And I guess you could almost say that for just about almost every car out there. But,
yeah, there was a whole lot of action. The heat races had some action, the C mains had action, the B main had action, and I mean, front to back, pretty much the whole night was a lot of side by side. It was a super tight track at South Boston, so I think we're going to see a lot more of the same like we're seeing right now. This is kind of good pack racing, but when they get this is probably like heat race-esque if you think about it, but when they get another 10 cars around them, there's definitely be guys going down all the way to the grass trying to get that edge on entry and try to keep this thing wound up, and then the guys on the top side are going to try to keep it smooth and that 6 inches or a foot off the wall to get that good run off the top side as well. So all about momentum when you don't have that good power to weight ratio. And in these old Camaros, it's kind of hard to stop and go a lot. So we saw them race at the Legends Oval, and they were shifting and stuff, trying to get the max they could out of these things. So it's going to be really interesting to see how passing is going to work as the tires age. Since these guys are on the new tire model, it's going to be kind of squirrely for those first 3 or 4 laps, this being a small track. But you're seeing right now Merle trying to find somewhere to go as the 7 and 33 are side by side. So we'll see how it works out for these guys in the actual racing, and see how the damage points kind of stack up, because it's not going to work out if these guys wall ride for a good chunk of this one.
I tell you what, it might not work out, but it sure is fun to watch. I've been keeping an eye on the 24 Brad Curtis right behind Murrell, and man, he's running this place like it's Darlington through those corners, getting up as close as you can. He's put a few Irwindale stripes on that number 24 car, but you know what? He passed those guys, and then he went back behind them. Maybe he didn't want to give up that magic line that he's running. He don't want those guys following him and pulling away, and then all of a sudden they start running the same line as him. You see him running higher than everybody else, so that damage might, kind of add up through 120 laps here tonight.
Yeah, definitely something to check out. I'm not sure if it's going to hold up, but certainly interesting to watch as we're just checking this rear chase cam. You can see how small this place is. As soon as you come off the corner, you're getting ready and grabbing the wheel for some more left-handers here. But it's going to be tight, man. These guys, I mean, slide jobs are going to be a thing here. So it's going to be kind of dive bombing in, sliding up the track right in front of somebody as you see the 24 try to do it there. That's going to be a good chunk if these guys are, way faster than the car ahead of them. But when they're so close, it's really difficult to pass. So it's going to be really fun to watch these guys wheel it.
Yeah, it seems like the guys in front of him, the 33 car, he decided he was going to go up and maybe try that. Aaron Ward sitting 20th on the speed chart's going to try to see if he can get some more out of that car. Everybody chasing the 24, though. Brad Curtis.
Yeah, running some good laps for him currently. Should be fun here, man. We got some new graphics on the screen. We'll see if we can pull one up, see how good it works here. 2-car battle. That's just 9th and 10th. So that's just when they're out there live time. When they're doing practice laps, you can't really see it, but you'll be able to see the speed difference. Right now, it's showing how close they are to each other. So that .012 is how close Tyler Peach is from the 8th place runner right now, Kevin Ostern. So we're going to have some action going on throughout the night. But right now, air temps 81, track temps 132. So it's definitely slick out there for these guys. Going to be a pretty crazy night, and we'll see if they can hang on to it. But we're closing in on time here. Only about 3 minutes left till we're hitting the track for some official racing for the Redwood Acres Raceway Series. Jacobs TV 120 tonight.
I'm seeing some comments there from the fans tuning in. Brian Nudie, wish I could be racing, but I'm out camping. At least I got full cell service. Good luck, boys, and what a run Nudie had on Monday night.
Yeah,
that
he was
car.
that 40 car, that Miller High Life white and red car.
Yeah, he it was another one. Worked his way up, pretty much solidly into the top 5, 6, and got caught up in a wreck, as did most of the field throughout the night at one time or another. But he looked like a contender for the win for part of that race, and then got shuffled back. When guys are going to the pits and getting tires and fixing damage. So again, holiday weekend, a lot of guys are getting out of the city, as they say, for a long weekend. More and more states seem to be lifting their bans, and with all this COVID-19 stuff, people can do a little bit more, which is good, which hopefully leads to some real racing, on tracks across the United States.
Absolutely. I'm been working on my car all week. I actually just got back from it earlier today. Every day been hitting that, go to work, then come over to the race shop and get a couple hours in. Really excited to get the season going whenever it starts. So trying to make improvements just like everybody else and get the thing rocking and rolling. So we're close, but we're not done yet. There's always something that can be done. That's our motto. Race cars never done. Always can make some kind of improvement. So when it does happen, we get the chance to get out there. I'm pumped up to get some laps under our belt for this year.
And DJ, you mentioned your car, local racing, and etc. Let everybody out there listening know who you are, what you do, the Driving DJ Network. What is that? Where you from, and everything else.
Well, we're a super late model team out of the Midwest. Just recently started up the Driving DJ Network, having some pretty good success. We're hosting our home track of the Grundy County Speedway on Friday nights. Probably going to end up doing a winter league with that for iRacing, doing some super late model racing. I do race a super late model in real life, running a left-hander chassis. We got Johnny B helping us out, Engine Masters, Bob Doherty, a lot of good sponsors from around the area jumping on the car to help us, supported throughout the year and things like that. If you want to support here, check out the description. We have a PayPal if you want to just do a straight donation, or we have stars, which are a pretty cool thing that Facebook does that buys us pit pass money, man. We get those stars. They're a penny each star. So we just take those and buy them pit passes with those. But that's going to help us out in real life. So looking forward to doing some videography, some behind the scenes stuff when we're at the track. We got some people interested in maybe doing some of that work with us. So just trying to be a little more open as far as who we are and things like that, and get our name out there a little better to make it easier to get that branding and advertisement out for other people. So big fan of racing, grew up in a racing family, and carrying on with it, man, having a bunch of fun doing it.
Well, and as we get ready for qualifying to start, you mentioned getting your brand out there. Any of you fans that are going to be sitting home on Saturday with nothing to do, boy, we're going to get the brand name out on Saturday. DJ, let everybody know what we're doing on Saturday. You talked me into it. You talked, I think, Chris Goodacre, another broadcast partner of ours, into it. We're going to have a full, long day on Saturday.
Yeah, we're starting bright and early. It's 10 Eastern is when it's going to start practice. We're doing an Indy 500 full-length race on the Driving DJ Network. It's going to be ERA Sports League is putting it on, so there's going to have some very tired guys behind their rigs running that race. And they're not going to have to make the flight, Steve, but at about 4:30 or 5:30 Eastern, they're going to be jumping in. The same group of guys running the Indy 500 are going to be running a Coke 600. So they're going to start that race midday, run that into the night. So it's going to be 8 to 10 hours. If you're not doing nothing, throw up the stream and check these guys out. I'm going to be talking with Chris a lot in the afternoon, and then you in the morning, or vice versa. Not sure which one is which, but super excited to be checking that out. But we're watching Bailey Turner right now with that top spot. Clifford Meyer we were checking out. He's in second right now. Good run for him. Who else is out there? Cypher's pulling it in. Brandon White making a run out there right now. He's sitting in ninth. Yeah, man, Saturday's going to be huge. Memorial Day racing. That's on Monday. We're going to be cooking on the grill and stuff on Sunday. So we want to recover and chill on Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like you said, a triple header. You're running tonight. We're going to run late models and street stocks tomorrow for the Grundy County Speedway League. The double, it was always a treat when one driver would do it, where they'd run the Indy 500, hop on an airplane and a helicopter and get to Charlotte and try to accomplish 1,100 miles. And as I said, it was kind of a cool deal when one guy attempted it. That we're going to have probably about 33 to 40 guys attempting it on Saturday night. So yeah, nice little holiday double on tap for Saturday. So you could watch us any time of the day. And I will be doing the morning broadcast. And anybody that knows me, that's an accomplishment during this pandemic that we're under, that I'm going to be up that early in the morning.
Absolutely. You better get some sleep on Friday night, man. That's going to be a late one. We got some Grundy action tomorrow. That's going to end, and better hit the hay right away, man.
Yeah, and like if you look at qualifying, Isaiah Gill, last week's winner, really wasn't that high on the practice times, but sitting there in the top spot, Scott Sable, Brett Murrell, Bailey Turner, Clifford Meyer, Josh McMillan, Kevin Ostern, Gannon Cyphers, Tyler Peach, and Michael Lawrence rounding out your top 10. And kind of interesting to see Brad Curtis, looks like he didn't get a time after being the fastest car in practice. So a lot of those cars that were up in the top 10 really didn't, back it up with time for qualifying. But definitely going to be interesting. Obviously, guys are fast in qualifying. Some of the guys further back in the field were fast during practice. We'll see how that all transfers over once we start getting the green flag tonight, DJ.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. One thing to note: if you don't, or if you do hit the wall in qualifying, it discounts your lap, so it doesn't count. So, if any of these guys, I mean, we saw the 39 car Gary Kleintob, man, awesome run in practice. He's sitting in the 18th. He spun out, as we saw on camera there, coming out of turn 4. So he didn't even really get a pretty good up to speed lap. So he's going to have some work to do, and he's going to be somebody to watch. But 7 cars in this one. You see them up on the leaderboard. They're not gridded yet, but Isaiah Gill, Bailey Turner, man, these two guys have put on a show. They're going to do it again, starting in the front row. Kevin Ostern, Cheeseburger Michael Lawrence with that Jacobs TV number 47. He's going to try to make the show, get in this top 4 to make his son's Jacobs TV 120 race here tonight. Siri Reed in that Gravedigger 46 car. He's out there. He's ready to rock and roll, get himself a transfer spot. Eugene Palmer, who finished second on last race, is sitting in that 18 car, going to be ready and rearing to go, as well as the 74 Brian Merle Jr. But we're rolling off, Steve.
And DJ, you've seen a lot of racing just like I have. When's the last time you've seen the top 2 guys in practice not even qualify into the top 18 in the field? So we're going to have some quick cars that are going to be on the tail end of these transfer races trying to make it in.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good show right off the bat. We got some top runners right here. Sitting on the front 2 rows. These guys are up there in points, top 2 in points. So a new paint scheme looking like for the Isaiah Gill car, and that Rusty's Cars looking paint looks really good. And then you got the Ain't No Laws When Drinking the Clause number 9 right next to him. So pretty cool for these guys to get it rocking and rolling for tonight. But yeah, it's going to be cool to see the 39, 24, those guys who may not have had as good a practice run or a qualifying as practice, make some laps here and try to get that transfer spot. Top 4 for all these heats, make it into the show.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed with Isaiah Gill. My first race was Monday, and that instantly became my favorite paint job, the Baja Blast Mountain Dew car. Good luck, put him in victory lane, and now as we come to green, he'll take the lead coming across the line. That new paint job, hey, we'll still cheer for him, though, as he goes down into turn 1. Turner and Ostern side by side for that second spot. Then it gets interesting back there for 4th on back.
Yeah, this is the transfer spot we're looking at as we see Siri Reed and Eugene Palmer nose to nose here as they're going through 3 and 4. This seems to be a pretty good view here. We might do some above view shots, but that Coors Light 18 rim riding around, and looks like Brian Merle Jr. is going to work with him as well. Tuck in, get around, and Michael Lawrence is holding that coveted spot. So pretty short race here, only about 10 laps. We got about 8 to go this time by. But right now, Isaiah Gill holding himself a half a second lead over the 9 car Bailey Turner.
Well, and I noticed on Monday, DJ, that a lot of the veteran competitors, guys high up in the standings, when they had a transfer spot in the heat race, they were kind of content just to ride around, knowing that they were going to make it to the show. And then some of the fringe guys, on the points, maybe a little bit further down on speed or further down on points, when they got a third or fourth place, they wanted to race for it. And it kind of came back to bite them last week when they were battling, even though they had a transfer spot. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Got a spinner towards the tail of the field. Brian Murrell Jr. goes around, no caution, as he'll get that 74 car pointed in the right direction. Top two have checked out, and then we got a 3-car battle, and only 2 of them will make it to the show. Oh, Palmer.
Oh, save it. This is a
ride and keep going.
Admin cautions. Unfortunately, the 47 car of Lawrence gets taken out after he's sitting there in third. Thierry Reed's going to take advantage of that. Palmer's going to come back, try to get a spot. As he's looking to the inside of Siri Reed, but Siri Reed gets taken out by Palmer. Palmer looks like he might go around. He saves it. Well, guys getting burned out here, Steve, right in the middle of this heat race, coming to 5 to go. Palmer's going to take over third, Ostern fourth, and then your 3 spinners right now are sitting here coming to get lapped here. Isaiah Gill with a 3/4 second lead right now on Turner.
Yeah, the top 2 are just kind of hanging out. They know they're both going to transfer in. It got exciting back there. I think anybody that could spin past third place has already done it. So now it's just a matter of maybe who spun first and got the car going into those transfer spots. Eugene Palmer, Kevin Ostern looking pretty good now as laps start to wind down, DJ.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I every week I'm cheering for Cheeseburger, man. I love the story behind him, and his fight, man. He works real hard to get that 47 car. Just bad luck, like we just saw, man. But no fault of his own, getting spun out there. And I mean, same for Siri Reed in that 46 car. Both those guys turned not to their own doing. So unfortunate for those guys. They're probably going to end up as we hit the white flag. They're going to end up going to the B main. But we do take 6 out of there. So hopefully, those 2 can make their way in and get themselves into this Jacobs TV 120.
Yeah, that's the good thing about this Redwood series. They at least give guys a couple of chances to make the big show. So, as the race comes to an end, they know, hey, it didn't transfer in, but at least I got one more try throughout the race. We said Michael Lawrence is looking good, and then Siri Reed, right place, right time, and then turned into wrong place, wrong time. So, again, your top 4, Isaiah Gill is going to put that car in victory lane. Only a heat race, but would love to back to back and put that car in there for the feature event. You see the lineup on the board now as cars are gridding for the second race, and I'll let that go to DJ as we do our lineup.
Scott Sable, who's in that blue 16, he's going to start on the front row. He'll be inside of Clifford Myers. You see those guys grid up right now. Gannon Cyphers, our bowler of the division there. He's got like 19 300s, man. He's not even like 20 years old. He's a young guy. So exciting to see that. Really good baseball player as well. And then you got Brandon Knight in that 19. Awesome looking paint job on that thing. James Moore in that 61. And then you're going to have Deegan Cooker there in that 011 car.
Looks like Slick Rick and rounding out the field in the 14. And man, Slick Rick had an interesting day on Monday night as well. A couple times we called his name into a transfer spot, and then all of a sudden we look up and wasn't there anymore. So again, as we, even Scott Sable too in that sharp looking blue number 16, he was looking good for a while on Monday night. And again, it's survival of the fittest here with this street stock series.
Yeah, man, it's I don't want to call anybody's name. I feel so bad every time I kind of say something, something kind of happens. So unfortunate for those guys, but they're getting the 1 to go, and they're ready to rock and roll for their heat. Taking the top 4. Once again, 3 are going to go home and only 6 starting. So special shout out to LaDonna Lawrence. Appreciate the stars helping us out with that pit pass money. We gear up. These guys are ready to rock and roll. Pace car is off. Sable and Meyer. Sable off to a good jump there. They hit the stripe. He's going to take the lead all the way down into turn 1. Meyer going to follow him through. Side by side for third back there. Zyphers and White. White going to get the run, though, as they come off of turn 2. Transfer spot right now. Moore in that 61. Make a move there, but he's going to tuck in as they come off a 4.
Yeah, field trying to immediately go to single file. Everybody hopping up to the high side. Top 3 breaking away just a little bit. 4th is going to be the spot we're going to want to keep an eye on as Meyer goes down the racetrack a little bit. White's going to take a peek to the high side, and they'll race side by side, which is good news for your leader. But they both go around him. Maybe problems for the leader.
Yeah, real loose there off of 4. Unfortunately for Sable, he's going to put himself right in trouble as he's right now 1 spot away and not in position right now track-wise. Whoa, the 61's going to get in the 1. He's drifting the whole corner. He's not going to save it. He goes around.
Man, that was close. I thought he was gonna save it, but went around. Let's see if he'll get it back in line, running in 6th. But if anything has shown you throughout these qualifying races, get that car going. Even though you're running in 6th, a half a lap down, there might be a good chance that a couple other cars are going to be going around and you can pass them.
Absolutely. 6 to go this time by, it looks like. So still some time for stuff to happen. As you see Sable and Meyer duking it out. Sable's going to get the spot, but he gets real loose off a 2. Meyer's going to dive down to the bottom, but like we were talking about earlier, that's not the preferred line. Maybe looking to do a slide job, but he's going to have to do a lane. Oh, give him a lane. Both these guys are going to get together, though. And Meyer's going to go around. Where's Cypress is on pit road. He's got a knocked out rear end. He's all kinds of messed up. But Deegan in this 011 car in the transfer spot right now as Meyer is back there a ways. So we're closing in on laps just under halfway. 4 laps to go. Brandon White all about this one.
And I tell you what, after the first lap or so, I thought Scott Sable was in a good position to put that car in victory lane in heat race number 2. But man, he had all kinds of problems. Drifted back, tried working his way back up. Unfortunately, running comfortably in the transfer spot, got into it with the 7 car, knocking him out of the top 4. So now Clifford Meyer got his work made out for him. Looks like he may go to the B main as laps start to wind down.
Yeah, we see a good view here of this battle going on. 3rd and 4th right now. James Moore and Deegan Cook are there in that 011. Just call it 11, but I don't know. I feel like I have to say 011. It's a 3-car number. You know what I'm saying, Steve?
Hey, we don't see too many of those.
Yeah, that's a doozy for me. Let's go on board with them. They're coming around. We're on the white flag right now, so this is the transfer position. Unfortunately, Clifford Meyer, Gannon Cyphers, and Slick Rick Tillman, who didn't even start this one, those guys are all going to be going to the B main. Side by side for 3rd, and that's going to do it. Wrapping up another heat race.
So Brandon White, Scott Sable, James Moore, Deegan Cooker going to transfer onto the 120-lap feature later on this evening as we get ready for heat race number 3 in this Jacobs TV 120 here tonight.
You're going to have Brett Merle on the start of this one. Showing some real consistency, a lot of speed. Good starting spot for him. Josh McMillan in that Nikon GoPro number 99. He'll be outside front row. Another orange car in this one. Tyler Peach. He'll be starting 3rd next to the 33 of Andrew Ward. Jason Chand, and then awesome looking number 4. He'll be 5th. Gary Kleintobe, here's his chance, man. He's got to pass a couple cars and get his way into this one along with Brad Curtis. Both these guys, your top 2 in practice.
Yeah, and if these heat races turn out to be like the other 2, they're definitely going to have a chance to work their way through the field and get into a transfer spot. Top 4 will make it in. Brett Murrell, your pole sitter, but he has some fast cars sitting back there at the tail end of the field.
Yeah, these guys are going to get 1 to go right now. But as these guys are trying to make their way into the Jacobs TV 120, we actually got a comment from Jacob. So hello, Jacob. Really appreciate it. Saying keep up the good racing. Unfortunately, Dad got unlucky there, but we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that 47 car in a later race, trying to make it into the show. So we appreciate you supporting these guys at the Redwood Acres Raceway Series, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll here for our next heat race as Merle and McMillan are going to lead us to green.
Oh, nice jump on the outside. First time tonight. The leader has not set the pace, and I'll take that back as he gets a run through 1 and 2. Brett Murrell, nice recovery going through 1 and 2. The 99 car will drift back to third.
Good view here, 3 wide. Chan Ward McMillan squeezes by on the high side. Not going to get away though. Ward looks like he may make a move to try to get to the inside in this debacle here. As Peach and Merle and Ward's going to go around. There's one spinner so far. But Merle is off to a pretty good jump. Peach keeping him honest though. Right off that outside wall, McMillan's going to try to run down this 4 car. But Curtis trying to get by one of those two so he can make his way into the big show. Kleintobe right behind them both.
Yeah, and all you got to do is finish in the top 4 to transfer. And man, we have a lot of fast cars at the tail end of heat race number 3. Brett Murrell, though, no problem up front in that 11 car. The battle obviously is going to be 3rd and 4th on back to see who makes it into the Jacobs TV 120 tonight.
Yeah, Curtis has a good seat in this one. We'll see if we can jump on board with him, see what he sees. Right now, this is the feature race, man. You want to hit one of these guys and get by one of them. But, you know, you're wheeling it so hard, there's not a whole lot of room to go. He might want to try to sneak on the high side. It's hard to slip down to the bottom, but the laps are winding down. He dives to the bottom to the inside of Curtis. Leaves him a lane up top, but real loose on the bottom, man. This track, when it gets hot, Steve, it gets real slick.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Curtis and Kleintobe, as fast as they were in practice, I thought they would slice through this field and at least be able to transfer into maybe a 3rd or 4th place finish. Not doing that. Sure, you're going to get another shot in the B main, but man, anything can happen in the B main. If I can transfer through my heat race, that's what you want to do. As we got to battle for the lead up front. Tyler Peach goes around the 11 of Brett Murrell to take the lead. Now Murrell looking like going to do a slide job down to the inside and see if he can retake the lead.
And you see he makes it stick as they come around to 3 laps to go. Peach looks like he might be doing the same thing here. We'll go to the front end of the 11. Not going to make it happen though. Still on the inside. Duking it out with the nose cam. See if the 27 car slides up. You see his right front fender there, but he's not going to make it happen. As all this goes on, it's side by side back there for 3rd and 4th. McMillan gets into the 4. He's going to go around. That's your transfer spot. Curtis is going to make it by. McMillan losing out on the transfer spot, trying to get a little aggressive there, passing the 4 car. The 24 of Curtis is going to take advantage as he was sitting right behind him in 5th. I don't know about that, Steve. It's a little bit of an aggressive move. I know he wants to go because that 24 car is coming, but man, a mistake cost him that one as they get the white flag going around here. And side by side. Whoa, bam, pit maneuver there. Everybody's going flying, but that top 4 is without Gary Kleintobe, Josh McMillan, and Andrew Ward rounding that one out. So unfortunately there for the 99, he's not going to make it happen.
Yeah, and Gary Kleintobe as well sat on the top of the charts for about 20 of the 30 minutes in practice and then did not back it up in qualifying. You thought starting 7th, you thought, you know, hey, he has a good shot to transfer into the top 4 and just did not look competitive in that race. So we'll see what he does in the B main as we have one more heat race to go to help us set the field.
It looks like, though, we're in a little bit of a warm-up session here, Steve. Looks like a 5-minute warm-up. There's just kind of everybody out on the track right now. Not sure what the deal is, but we'll find out.
Hey, we'll announce whatever they give us.
Right. But
now, are the heat races done, DJ? Are there any more heats?
I'm thinking so. I was told there's going to be, whoa, a lot of flying action there. I was told there's going to be some B main action, not C main, but as you manually set up these rooms, there's always issues that are bound to happen sometimes. So we'll see if they get it cleaned up and figure out what's happening. But right now we are in less than 4 minutes to go in this warm-up session. We'll see what we can find out from race control, but right now we're kind of along for the ride. We'll see what happens after this one and how many guys line up.
And I think part of it has to do with the our car count tonight. I know we had close to 30 on Monday night. Ended up having 4 heats. Do you have a list on how many cars qualified, DJ? I don't know if you can go to that and get those stats, but maybe if we only had 21 or 22 cars per se, maybe they're only going to run 3 heat races tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. With those were 7-car heats, so it does make sense to only have those 3. They could be doing a warm up, but I've not really seen a warm up prior to a B main, so that's a little interesting to me. I'm not sure if you can place where that warm up session goes. So, I mean, we're gonna find out here in 2.5 minutes, but it's either gonna be the B main or the A main here, so we'll find out.
All we can say is this is not the DJ Network problem. We just announce and call what we see.
Right.
So we'll play my racing if the practice kind of scuff session, as we like to call it in the Midwest, popped up a little bit early. So we'll see, what happens with the B main, and then getting ready to do racing for 120 laps here, as the sun will be setting soon, I think, for feature time a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as far as all that stuff goes. But right now we can only do with what we can with what we got. So watching right now as you see Palmer making fast time. Bailey Turner, I'm sure Palmer might have rode the wall a little bit there, as he's or there's a little issue with scoring, but it shows him a half a second ahead of second. So willing to down, that's what's happening. But like Gannon Zyphers says that it's just going to be an A main, 22 cars straight to the A main tonight. So we're going to start them all. This Jacobs TV 120 here tonight at Irwindale. So should be a pretty good one. Full field of cars. This is going to be one of the biggest shows car count wise that these guys have had in an A main.
Yeah, it makes sense too. Whenever you have the opportunity to to only send 1 or 2 guys home, if you can avoid that, great for the series to kind of overlap and just say, hey, we're not going to run the B main, we'll just let everybody into the show. So kind of speeds along the program for the fans too. They don't have to watch what probably would have been a lot of cautions, a lot of incidents for guys fighting hard to transfer in. So now we don't have to worry about that. And like I said, a little 5-minute scuff session to see what they got, and then they'll be gritting. Makes for an earlier night for us, for the drivers, and for the fans watching at home on the Drive-In DJ Network.
Yeah, it should be a quick one, as we're just under an hour as far as stream time goes, and 45 seconds until we start the main event. So definitely going to be hopefully a quick night, especially with the rule changes with the fixed setups, or with the quick fixed fast repair. Sorry, a little tongue-tied there. But we're going to see some guys we haven't seen in A main yet this year, so I'm really excited about that. Hoping that Cheeseburger can get the win here tonight, man. His son's Jacobs TV, the youtube.com/Jacobs TV. Check out those videos. And that 47 car will come in right now and check him out. That green with the orange wheels. Looking sporty here tonight, sitting in 6th place in this warm-up. Well, we'll get him a little bit of a spotlight here as we come down to 5 seconds left in this one.
That's your guy, man. I know you're excited everybody makes it.
Yep, big fan. You see it on the rear quarter panel there, Jacobs TV. So we'll see where he starts. Here we go. Everybody to the stripe. Let's go through your rundown. We're going to have James Moore hitting that invert, man. 61 car on the pole. Eugene Palmer sitting in 2nd spot. He'll be outside pole. Tyler Peach, 3rd. Scott Sable, 4th. Bailey Turner in the 9. He'll line up 5th, right next to the 11 car. Brett Merle, who's shown speed all night long, as well as Brandon White dominating his heat. And Isaiah Gill, he's going to have the invert of 8, so he's going to start in 8th spot. Brad Curtis is going to be 9th. Kevin Ostern in that 36. He'll be starting 5th row outside in the 10th position. Egan Cooker is going to be the 11 in 11th. Jason Chan in that 4 car will be 12th. Brian Merle Jr., Clifford Meyer, they're going to take up row 7. Gary Kleintobe and Siri Reed are going to be in row 8. Gannon Cyphers in 17th. Josh McMillan in that 99. He'll be 18th. Cheeseburger Motorsport's going to bring up the back row in this one. He'll be right next to the 33 of Andrew Ward. So a lot of work to go to make it up to the front. But we have 120 laps of action here tonight to get it done. So we'll see what happens.
In an interesting mix, obviously, you know, a lot of those guys in the first 4 rows, fast cars. They've been fast most of the season and here tonight, but again, some fast cars in practice in qualifying towards the tail of the field. So we're going to have some action up front. We're also got to keep an eye on the tail end of the field as some of those quick cars in practice try to work their way through the field. Got 120 laps to do it. We'll see if they kind of stand on it and go and try to get out front along with all the other leaders, or they kind of maybe pace themselves and pass a couple cars here and there and just kind of see what happens about midway through this one.
Here we go. Moore off to a big jump there. Peach is trying to follow him as they go through here. He's going to dip inside. Merle looking to the outside of stable. He's going to think better of it. Turner's trying to find some way around this thing. As they come around, we're in that blimp view trying to get as many cars as we can in this series. Side by side back there, Curtis and Ostern. Turner right now working his way under. Merle looking to make it 3 wide. Turner trying to put the block on. All the way down to the grass as they come off of turn 2 there, Steve.
Man, they are racy early on. Nobody wants to be left behind as the top few cars get single file right at the start. As you mentioned, Muro trying to make it 3 wide, trying to pick up some spots, some contact with the 16 into the wall, and cars scatter behind.
Oh, it's a mess down there. A parking lot down into turn 1. Yellow flag's gonna fly, and not too many cars making it through that one. A lot of guys are gonna have to tow, get those quick repairs knocked out. Only one though, Steve, so that's half the field right there. Nobody making it down pit road yet, but we'll try to catch up and see if anybody does make any moves, and we'll go from there and see how this thing pans out. But it looked like the 16 car just got way loose as they came off of turn 2 there, or turn 4, and caused quite a pile up. We'll see if we can come back, check a replay of that one. 16 of Sable here. We'll go back already down off the corner. Let's see if we can get a better view of this one. Here we go. Little bit loose, riding that right rear. Merle just nowhere to go. Brandon White a piece of it. Curtis checked up. Brandon White going off the track there, trying to see what it's like down in Modesto. But these guys, oh man, all over the place.
Yeah, had 3 cars end up on their lid. The 16, I saw the 74 of Murrell Jr. go up and over. So yeah, some quick repairs being used very early in this one. Got not what the guys wanted to see. Didn't want to have to pull that out of their back pocket on lap number 4 of 120. They got a long way to go now to try to keep those cars clean for the rest of the race.
Yeah, and we see some guys already jumping on pit road. So it looks like Brad Curtis and Scott Sable, those guys down on pit road, trying to make some changes. We'll see if they can get some repairs done to that thing. Maybe use their quick repair, I'm not sure. We'll find out. We'll check the front end of these things. See the nose disconnected on the 16. He uses it. So no more tape backs for the 16. He's all fixed up and ready to go. Brand new front end on that thing. Curtis looks like he's got some tires being put on right now. Might use his quick fix. Only 2 cars out of that whole gaggle making their way down. You see damage on Isaiah Gill's 3 car there. He started back in 8th.
Yeah, kind of surprising you don't see more cars on pit road. And again, Gill, you don't want to give up track position, but with many cars that should have been pitting after that, you kind of wonder maybe do you go in and try to get it fixed, get it 100%, or are you gonna ride around 100 plus laps with some damage on the front end? He chose to stay out, so we'll see how good that 3 car is. We'll see if he can back to back this week here in the Redwood Series.
Yeah, definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge as he's a ways back there. So all the way at the tail end, Steve, not sure what's going to happen. Right now, pace car lights are still on. We'll see where these guys end up lining up. But field looks to be a little bit mixed up. Some lap cars in between the leader, or in between the pace car. So You guys getting the wave around here, a little bit of confusion. A lot of guys getting past here. See about 6 or 7 cars there getting passed there by the leader, so we'll see what happens.
And boy, this is just like a regular night at the Grundy County Speedway or any short track. You see across the country sometimes it takes a while to get these guys lined up, even if you got a receiver or spotters that you're talking to trying to get into a right spot. You can't forget there was probably about 10 cars involved in that one, and every one of them going to debate where they should restart. So again, race director trying to get everything lined up. Now, DJ, you've done this a lot. I don't know how much experience you got in the street stocks compared to say maybe the late models. When a guy like Gil has damage like that in the front end of say a street stock, is it as just as noticeable as say a late model, or do you kind of get away with a little bit more and that damage really won't hurt him?
No, it's gonna affect him for sure, especially for how close these guys are with the fixed setup. So he's definitely gonna feel it. If it's cosmetic, it's cosmetic, but if it is something mechanical, it's definitely going to affect the handling of the car. Aero wise won't really be a big deal here, but it will make a difference. As you see Merle getting real loose there on the bottom.
And guys not having a problem going 3 wide again.
Yellow's gonna fly though. Not sure what happened. Looks like McMillan he was running slow there. We'll see. We can see why it was there. Nobody really showing any signs of damage or pulled down. The 36 car has some damage here, but not sure what that caution was for. But it comes out only 2 laps.
Flagman a little anxious maybe with the yellow early on, throwing it early again. We missed it, but again, sometimes you see that. Sometimes you'll get a yellow for a simple spin, and then I've seen guys where there's 3-4 car accidents and there's no yellow. Not just saying this series, all series across all of iRacing. So it's interesting. Eye of the beholder, I guess, the guy that's calling the cautions. But regardless, we're under yellow for the second time here tonight.
Yeah, and these are admin cautions, so it's definitely not your standard iRacing. If somebody gets loose, they go, and throw the caution. So it has to be something like the parking lot we witnessed down in 1 and 2. But we'll find out soon enough what happened. But hopefully we'll just get rocking and rolling back to green. Appreciate everybody checking into the Driving DJ Network, where we broadcast and stream some iRacing. Right now, we have the Redwood Acres Raceway Series geared up and already rocking and rolling as they hit lap 16, for the 120 lap Jacobs TV event here at the Irwindale Speedway. Pace car lights still on. Eugene Palmer leading the way right now. James Moore started on the front row. He's right behind him. Haley Turner in that 9 car, Tyler Peach and Brett Merle running out the top 5.
So again, leaders up front, just not really sure what they have right now. Only a couple laps under green, caution comes out. A couple more laps under green, caution comes out. But they're just happy to turn some laps, no damage, keep the car clean up there, and like I said, it kind of makes their job a little bit easier with no damage. I'd say probably about half the cars in the field either have some damage to them or they've done a quick repair already. So right away, if you're in the top 6-8 cars, you've probably got an advantage over the rest of the field so early on in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Track position, just like any of these real long races, if you can stay up front and out of the way of any damage and chaos, then you're miles ahead of everybody else in this one. So only 20 cars. We got 18 cars on the lead lap right now. Pace car lights are kind of coming off. They're lining up, but that's slowly going to drop. But only about 100 laps to go. We're going to have 19 complete coming to green this time by. We'll see if Palmer and Moore can hold off Turner and Peach, as those guys were really aggressive on that last restart.
In every broadcast, man, you mentioned Bailey Turner. Already setting his sights on the second position. I'm going to try to get in front of the 61 of Moore. Looks like he's going to clear him, move Turner up to second place early on in this one, as Peach is going to look to do the same as he'll go down to the inside in that number 27 car.
You're thinking about throwing a slider on as he comes all the way up. Not going to be able to close the door on the 61 car. But while the tires are fresh, Steve, now's the time. You see the 61 getting a little dicey there. He's going to tuck in that 27 car and get the spot just ahead. 61's going to try to do a little crossover here through 3 and 4. Turner not really able to gain a lot of ground here on the 18. I would suspect him to be a little more quicker on the whip there, Steve, and catch up to him. But right now, Eugene Palmer's having himself a heck of a race.
Well, and you mentioned the tires. These guys aren't going to be doing this move 40 laps in on these tires. So while the car is still pretty comfortable underneath them, they're going to be a little bit more aggressive. And maybe Turner got his sights on the leader sitting there in second place. Hey, I don't want to use my stuff up. I'm in a good position, and I'll just kind of ride here a little bit and save it for the tail end of this long run.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. Could be kind of in the catbird seat. As long as we have a bunch of time, the outside is kind of the lane you want to be in. So not bad to be sitting in second spot right now. He'll be starting on the top in any case of a restart. So maybe just kind of conserve your stuff and 20, 30 to go. If we're still running this thing, start to make your moves. But until then, just keep that 18 car in your sights and try not to use and abuse those tires. As you see the 74 car get into the 7 as we're on board with them. Those two guys go around. Car's checking up. Green flag still flies white. Squeaks by. Clips the 7 car. Here comes the back half of the field. Siri Reed just destroys the 7. The leaders are coming around now. Merle gets into Turner as they come around turn 4. Caution finally flies. Wow. Not sure what the 74 was doing there, but absolutely demolished the front end of the 9. We'll see if he's got damage on that thing. Yeah, big time on the left front. You see the paint scraped off it in this view of the 9 of Turner. Nowhere to go in that one. Just saw the 74 car just right in front of him there.
And we mentioned the cautions earlier. One came out and we really didn't see what it was for. And then this one, we were definitely expecting a yellow when we get a car up and over.
There's nowhere to go. I mean, like, from the Ancor, Steve, I didn't even know if he saw him down there, but even if he did, you got to expect him not to come up there. He looks planted, and then he just comes up. He tries to avoid him, but just no luck. Those guys not wanting to tow away. Caution not thrown. So Turner's coming down. He uses his fast repair. He's getting some tires.
We don't have audio on the in-car because, man, if we did on that 9 car, I think Turner wouldn't have a lot of stuff that we could publish during this broadcast. And even the other car, I didn't get the number that had rolled over and was sitting sideways on the track.
Yeah, the 7. Yep.
Yeah, the other car just came into the corner like they didn't even see him and just doored the guy. I mean, man, that's I don't know. These guys might be looking out the rear view more than they're looking out the windshield.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky to keep these things together. There is no safe spot, which is unfortunate. The 9 sitting there trying to fight for the lead, dipping under the 18 car there of Palmer, and just unfortunately, wrong spot, wrong time. No caution came out. Maybe a half a lap earlier or something when they went flying. Maybe he thought he would get it going, but the 74 just didn't want to make it happen and ended up pulling right in front of the leaders. Are causing a big shift in the forces here as we come around to 29 complete.
And DJ, how quickly your fortunes can change here. We just got through saying Turner maybe sitting in the catbird seat, second place, no pressure behind him, just seemed to be content to be riding around in second, and then a half a lap after a spin, Lapper pulls out right in front of him. So your fortunes can change here in the Redwood Acres Street Stock Series, and again, unfortunate for some. Good news for Eugene Palmer is once again he'll lead the field of green in that number 18 car.
Yeah, a lot slower restart as he took right off last time. Got the jump again this time. A lot more fair of a start though. The pace car kind of pulled off last restart and he was gone. So
DJ, I got to throw this in there. Look at your guy in the top 5, the 47 of Michael Lawrence, having a heck of a run early on here.
You know, and that's something I really like to see, man. He's got himself a pretty good lap right now, and he's right up there with the fast guys here. So he put down himself a good lap, made his way all the way up from 18th. Michael Lawrence and that Jacobs TV. Let's go on board. He's got a lot of action going on right now. We'll see if we can get ourselves an onboard shot of this one.
3-car of Isaiah Gill and the 33 of Andrew Ward on the outside of the 47 of Lawrence.
He down up front. He's watching the pass for the lead go on as Merle tries to make his way around the 18 car of Palmer. 47's going to tuck in. Doesn't look bad. He's got some speed here, Steve. You know, he got real unlucky. He was all the way up to 3rd in his heat. But Michael Lawrence getting it done right now. Got himself a top 10 run. Fighting out with the last race's winner. And a very hard race there in the 33 of Andrew Ward. He's got a front row seat to this battle, trying to figure out what's the best route to take around here at Irwindale, trying to make up some spots here. But 34 laps complete, and we got racing all over the track going through 1 and 2.
Yeah, up front, new leader Brett Murrell in the 11, him in the 18 of Eugene Palmer battling out as they're bouncing off the wall. The 18 as he battles on the high side again into the wall, trying to get the lead
go
up.
around.
And he'll go around in front of the whole field and gets clipped by the 1 car of Cyphers.
Looks like McMillan lost a nose in that one as well. Plus the bumper cover smoking hard in that 99, nowhere to go. But like we said, man, I almost don't want to be in 2nd spot around here. This is pretty wild, man.
I want to be in the top 5. I think Cheeseburger has it good. He'll just sit there in 6th and see what happens.
Yeah, bide your time there and hang on to it, because we're only 36 laps in, and we've had some pretty insane starts to this one.
Only
Rex
14 cars on the lead lap, so a third of the field a lap down or worse. So at this rate, we might only have a handful of cars on the lead lap, not even to halfway on this one. And it looks like another battle of attrition here on Thursday.
They slowly develop into that one as we come around to our 4th caution here. It's been pretty wild ride, man. It's slick out there. It's so hot. These things are all out, and you know, they're trying to peel into the gas on the high side, Steve, and to get these things to really turn and you know, manipulate them through the corners, you really got to be on that right rear tire. So you sling these things in and you almost drive them with the throttle, and it feels like it hooks up, but it's like a false feeling. And then they end up going around, and you can see it happen even to the fastest cars on the track, sitting there leading the first chunk of this race. In the 18 car, he just got loose off of you know, turn 4, and that was it for him. He got a little free after he got bouncing off the wall and went around, and chaos ensues.
Well, and I guarantee these tires feel a lot better on lap 1 compared to lap 39. So only about a third of the way through this race. DJ, when do you think these guys are going to pit for rubber? Maybe about halfway through? You think some guys might try to cycle it into a 2-tire stop? Or I would imagine you can't see any guys try to go the whole way without any tires, right?
No, I mean, it's definitely possible. Right now, it's kind of a mixed bag, and the only people who have came down pit road are the ones who have had damage. So, you know, Brett Murrell on back to the 47 of Michael Lawrence. None of those guys have taken tires yet. Looks like the 47 did. Scott Sable was involved in a wreck. So was White, Bailey Turner as well. Those guys all took tires. The 1 car has yet to take tires. The 11 car hasn't. And the 4 car has a lot of cars there getting the wave around. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody didn't take tires, but it couldn't just be one guy. We saw it last week at Martinsville, who's not even here right now, the 15 car of Richard Knight. He didn't take tires, and everybody took like 2 sets of tires. And he and Brian Nudie, actually, in the 40 car, those guys were just duking it out. Or it was Mike Sullivan in the 05, which he's not even here tonight. But those guys didn't take tires, and Gill and Turner made their way up, and they just couldn't get by them. So it's all kind of dependent on the track and conditions and everything. So it's going to be kind of a mixed bag, but we'll see here shortly. These guys get into trouble, they're definitely going to come down pit road, get a quick fix, and some hoops. But a slow start as Merle takes the 61 of Moore. Going to throw it down there and grab the lead.
3 wide right away for that second spot. Gill, nice move up to second. Guys getting a little sideways. You see Turner working his way back through the field, but guys slipping and sliding.
Yeah, 3 wide, 2 wide here. Turner going to the inside, following White down here in 1 and 2. Ward to the inside, 3 wide here. For what looks like 4th spot, 3rd spot they're fighting for. It's a gaggle behind the 61 right now.
And Murrell now starting to get under pressure with the 3 of Isaiah Gill. Put that car in victory lane last week. Wants the lead up front again. Gill's going to make a move down to the inside. We'll see if he can make it hold. Brett Murrell been strong all race long up on the top side. Some slider moves when he needed to make passes for the lead. And he seems to be content running on the high side, giving the bottom to Gill with that new paint job this week. They'll drag race down the backstretch. Slight advantage. Gill a little bit loose coming off the corner. They got close at the line. Murrell's still your leader, but man, not by much, DJ.
Yeah, this is a good battle right now, and a true testament how racy this track is. There's not a whole lot of bottom lane, but there's definitely a chance you can get it done, especially if somebody on the high side makes a mistake. And there he goes, the pass for the lead. He's going to seal it off. And now the 11 car, Merle, is going to have to try to learn something here, but I already see some side-by-side action as we see the 33 car go around. No caution flies. Let's go back and see if we see what happened there.
Doesn't look like many other cars got involved in that one. Looks like most everybody missed them. The 16 car, some contact into the back of the 33 of Ward as they headed into turn number 1.
Yeah, a little net code there, man. It looks like Turner got into him, but to no fault of his own, he gave the 33 some leeway there. We've known that the 9 car's not afraid to use the bumper, but he didn't lay one down on the 33 there. Just a matter of the internet coding and things like that kind of messing up. So unfortunately for the 33 of Andrew Ward, he's going to have to work his way back up, falling all the way down back into 18th.
Yeah, now Brandon White in the 14 bounced off the wall. That's going to allow Turner to close in on him.
Oh!
There goes around the 3 of Gill.
He's going to come around and clip the 27 of Peach. And the caution's going to fly. Wow.
Yeah, they were running pretty decent up there. Didn't think they were even close enough to have contact. Looks like Gill might have just got a little loose, allowing Murrell to get close to him.
I'm not sure what happened, but wow, that was insane. That's unfortunate. Yeah, you got help there from the 11 car. And the 61 of Moore. Wow. A lot of damage to that 3 car. The 61 got taken out in that one as well.
That was second and third. That'll be your leader at the time in third place.
Yep.
Going to be some of those quick resets. So again, you know, we're about close to halfway, and now it comes down to who hasn't used the quick repair so far. That might be one of your favorites to put that car into victory lane if they haven't used one yet.
Yeah, I wish I had a graphic for that. You unfortunately you can't track that though. As a viewer like we are, that's only for the guys inside the cockpit of these vehicles. Right now, Brandon White currently taking over this this field. He's going to come down pit road though. Turner looks like he may follow him. Brad Curtis and Cheeseburger made his way up to 4th, dodging some wrecks.
Yeah, not seeing the 11 though. Well, no, I take that back. Murrell 1 lap down. Not quite sure how he ended up 1 lap down. He was the leader after the contact. So
You
man,
see,
maybe a lap in the pits, DJ.
yeah, I'm not sure what happened. That's what I'm saying, man. It's really hard to make something, happen here in the pits. These guys kind of feel like they come down, but the Jacobs TV 120 is having themselves a pretty good leader right now, as we see the 47 car of Michael Lawrence taking over the lead, gonna lead himself a lap. I want to say this is his first race he's been in, but leading the race, man. It's awesome to see in his son's race that he's sponsoring. So awesome for the Jacobs TV 120 sponsorer, father and son duo here. Cool to see those guys getting the mayor time here, Steve.
Hey, 5 more laps of caution. We'll be at halfway. Then we need a storm, and we'll make this race complete. We'll put the 47 in victory lane, DJ.
I couldn't think of a more perfect ending. So,
unfortunately, though, good weather out there in California, and this one's going to finish. But that's the way Lawrence wants it, and he loves to be out in the lead. As you mentioned, one of the first times this season he's been out front in a feature, and he probably has a pretty big smile on his face in the 47 car as he'll lead the field to green once we get back going. The 99 of Josh McMillan in second. Where did he come from? He had some damage earlier on, and he's up to second. Clifford Meyer had issues earlier on, so again, it shuffles through. If everybody pitted and had problems earlier, and these guys are working their way through, I'm thinking Lawrence may be the only car out there that has not had problems, and that's why he's in the lead, and he'll stretch that lead as he comes across the line in the 47.
Yeah, he's a huge jump here on Clifford Meyer and Josh McMillan. As they come through 1 and 2, there's a lot of stuff going on in the backstretch there, but pretty good corner for those guys. And you see the gaggle joining on behind him. We'll see if we can catch on to some of this. Sable, you see Kleintobe, Turner, Curtis, Chand, all those guys out there. 3 wide as they hit the stripe. Coming around to lap 58.
Yeah,
picking them off.
3 wide, right?
A lot of room on this track. You see Kleintobe getting into it a little bit with Sable there. But right now, your leader by a half a second, that 47 car with a good run going. Fresh tires, about 20 lap newer tires for the 7 car of Clifford Meyer, but bouncing off the walls, not going to gain you a whole lot of speed. McMillan making to make a move. We got some front and back side-by-side action all over the track right now for second and third. These guys are duking it out.
Yeah, a bunch of new players here up in the top 10. Fifth, the 74 of Brian Murrell Jr. about 30 laps ago. He was a lap down, pulled up in front of the leaders, and my, how his fortunes have changed as now he's worked his way up into the top 5 in that 74 car right behind the 19 of Brandon White as he tries to work his way back through the field.
Yeah, good view for White. He got into some trouble. He's sitting there in 4th spot. See if we can check out a little onboard action right now. From the 74, you see the 19 trying to go to the inside of McMillan here down the front stretch, down into turn 1. Looking to make a move, little forward progress, but that high side's the way to go. Looks like he's going to get the spot and just jump right up in front of the 99 as the 74 thought about going to the high side there.
Yeah, the 99 of McMillan, a little bit of contact with the wall, restarted at second. Now he's starting to slide back through the field in 4th. Here comes the 3 car of Isaiah Grill along with the 74 of Murrell Jr. as they're going to try to work around the 99 and drop him back to the 6th spot.
Yeah, good view here. You see Turner and Andrew Ward working their way back up as they're just behind these 2 cars that we see. You see the front ends of these things really sealing off as they're at maximum load. They're diving into the corners here at Irwindale. 74 maybe thinking about getting a run here, but Turner's looking to the inside of McMillan. And 3 wide. Gill going inside of White. Cheeseburger still leading this thing as we're 65 laps in. Second place into the wall there. Meyer putting on a show right now, these guys. Right now, Michael Lawrence with a full field behind him. This is what he sees in his rearview mirror.
I guarantee he doesn't see nothing, DJ. He's not looking in there. He's happy to be out front, probably telling the spotter to shut up and just let me run some laps here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you think you'd get lucky, maybe get a caution and lead some yellow flag laps like a lot of these guys have been lucky enough to do. But right now, he's got one of the fastest guys in the league on his bumper. So we'll see if Gil makes his way around. But right now, we got some big action here in this top group.
Yeah, this is the biggest battle we had for the lead. You got 5-6 cars you can throw under a blanket as Gil completes the pass on Lawrence, gets back up to the high side. Everybody single file in the top 4. Now the 19 car of White trying to make a move to go around and follow up to second place. Turner taking a peek to the inside of Merle Jr. So now cars starting to shake and bake a little bit into the top 5 as we got a new leader in Isaiah Grill. And DJ back in 8th place. We haven't said his name much today. The 24 car Brad Curtis, fastest car in practice, has not had the greatest qualifying races. As the caution comes out, you see the pace car pulling out onto the speedway. I was going to say he was fastest in practice and rim riding it up there. Curious to see what he was going to do as he caught the top 5 and see if he could run that high side and make some moves.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are starting to be a little more careful, not really using and abusing that right side of the car as they've already used their quick repair. So if you hit that wall, you'll be able to see those paint marks on the right side. So the 24 looks pretty clean as he's trying to work his way back up. But man, what a battle there. Gil just working his way up through there, White as well. Good run going for Michael Lawrence. Led a good chunk of laps there, Steve, about 20 or so, man. That was a good run for him.
Yeah, he's hoping this is a lap money race like we do back home for our Bettenhausen 100. You know, sponsoring laps, and yeah, even if you don't win, you get Steve Bechtel going down there and handing you an envelope with some cash. So that's always a good day. But look at the damage on the 16 car. Obviously, he was part of the caution, and his rough day continues. So he'll bring that iRacing number 16 Camaro down the pit road and throw some tires on it, do some repairs, and we'll see if he can get back out here before we go back to green.
Yeah, you can see 4 cars making their way down pit road. Andrew Ward, Jason Chan, Scott Sable, and Clifford Meyer in the 7. So that might have been, not sure what for. He was all the way up front there, Steve. And that 7 car, he was up to 2nd. So interesting series.
Surprise, the 9 car of Bailey Turner in the pits putting on tires. We saw that show about 5 times last week. Anytime there's a yellow, I think he's one of the drivers that prefers fresh rubber to track position. So Bailey Turner gonna be pretty fierce. He's gonna be further back in the field, but he's gonna have new tires on that car when he gets back out there onto the track. DJ, loving the new pit stop graphic too. Loving what you're doing. You're not just kind of sitting on the graphics you had every week. You kind of throw something new at the fans and as us as well, man. Really liking what you put together with your new graphics package. And I know you're still working on stuff. You had a lot more stuff in the mix here on the Drive-In DJ Network.
Yeah, man, always trying to work on improvement, just like we do in the car and life and things like that. Just trying to make it better, trying to make the experience better for the fans, for the viewer, and for these guys. A lot of their family and friends are watching it, so being able to get the spotlight on these guys and see their names up there always puts a smile on my face. So to be able to do that for other people is really cool. So you know, worked a lot with a good friend of mine putting this together, and we made it work. So trying to keep the theme going of that blue and white theme that we have on our real life race car. But got a new graphic made today. You could check it out. Look at that sucker, looking pretty sporty there in that suit.
Look at that hair. Obviously, you're in the open air booth, and it's windy where you're at.
Oh yeah, you got it spiked up. You got to do it. You got that luscious brown hair, that thick hair, man. I always got to get it thinned out when I go to the haircut place, barber shop.
Oh, man,
rough, man.
May 9th, they're opening supposedly the barber shops here in Illinois, and man, I'm trying to get an appointment. That's why you don't see my graphic on the board.
Yeah, no, it was a rough couple of months, man. When it opened up, I went the first day, so had to get the locks cleaned up. Looking like my winter cut. I don't cut it for a long time to keep warm, but we're gonna watch these guys take off again. Lap 76 here. Gil with some pressure from the 19 car.
Yeah, Gil made it look easy as he took the lead a few laps ago, and now under pressure from the 19 of White as he drifts back got a little bit loose. Now the 74 of Brian Murrell Jr. trying to move up to second. It'll be his best position of the race so far. A little bit of bumping and banging back there for the second spot. Gill's
Oh, they make contact.
banging, yeah. Gill up front stretching that lead. Now Peach gonna move in, trying to take that third spot. So move Murrell Jr. up to second. Brandon White, Tyler Peach battling for third with the 99 of McMillan back there as well in a top 5 spot. Keeping an eye on the 9 of Bailey Turner. Pitted and get some fresh tires on. He's already back into your top 10, running in the 9th spot. So as we're halfway through here, almost on lap 80. So 2/3 of the way through here on the Jacobs TV 120 from Irwindale.
And we're seeing the new tires really go to work, as Turner has pretty much the freshest tires of anybody in the top 10 as he's trying to work his way just on the bottom. But 28 laps on the tires of the 36 car, 26 laps, and then all 80 laps right now on that 47 car of Michael Lawrence, that Cheeseburger Motorsports car. He's wheeling it and actually doing a pretty good job with those worn out tires sitting in the top 7.
DJ, as a driver, it has to make you feel like Superman when you come in and put new tires on and everybody else is running around with 50, 60, 70 lap old tires.
Yeah, I can't say I've had it happen other than in practice, never in a real, an actual race. But yeah, you're sitting out there and you're running, 6s or 7s at Grundy, and then you slap on 2 tires even, or sometimes 4 if there's a big race and you really want to see what the car's going to act like. You throw those on, you pick up 4/10, 5/10 of a second, and you almost hurt your neck in your chest a little bit as you feel those tires as they gain some grip going into the corner. So it's a definitely cool feeling, and at that point you're just trying to find a lane to get around these guys. Give me some kind of lane, because I'm coming, and I'm coming fast.
Yeah, I love watching that in the NASCAR races when some of the the 20th, 25th place cars kind of put on new tires, and then they go around the leaders like they're standing still, and they got to be wondering what's going on. And it's that new tire effect. Sometimes they're a second, even 2 seconds quicker for the NASCAR bunch, and not quite of a difference here with street stocks here at Irwindale Speedway, but definitely it's going to give you an advantage. Now Turner up to 8th, battling Lawrence, who is running in the 7th spot. Up front, though, it is all Isaiah Gill. Thought Brandon White was going to make a run. Instead, he's dropped back quite a ways to 4th as Peach got by him, and Brian Murrell Jr. Again, we got to mention, 3rd of the way through that race, big wreck for him. Got involved in a caution, then pulled out in front of the leaders as they came around, and man, he has worked his way up to 2nd spot in that blue and yellow number 74 car.
Yeah, he's definitely had quite a run from getting involved with the leaders at a wreck on lap 20 to being one of the leaders on lap 87. So racing all around the track right now. Big gaggle of cars here trying to work the bottom, but man, it's so hard here. There's not much of a lane. And I feel like if there was more of a 2-lane or a bottom groove track, it'd be a lot easier to kind of cut down for Turner, especially on those new tires. But it being the kind of layout that it is, makes it really tough for the guys on new tires to make a move, because there isn't really much of a bottom lane. With a lot of heat here, it's hard to get that grip on the bottom. You can absolutely get it done, but it'd be a lot simpler if there was some whatever they call it, the powder, the dust, or the grip stuff, or the resin. Yeah.
Well, another name I think we need to mention, the 11 of Brett Murrell, was leading this race. Ended up heading to the pit area at one time, was scored a lap down, and now he's into the top 5, but he has his hands full with the 9 of Bailey Turner in 6th spot. Turner looking to break into the top 5, and that White Claws number 9.
And you don't want to do what the 11 just did. He kind of gave him the high side, and Turner's going to take full advantage of that, getting a huge run down the front straightaway, working his way into the top 5. 30 laps to go this time by. A normal Friday night feature on this Thursday evening here in the sunny Irwindale, which it only, I want to say 8 o'clock for these guys, so the sun's barely setting, if it has yet, for these guys on the West Coast. for this Redwood Acres Raceway Series. See the 46 car riding through the grass there of Siri Reed. Not sure what happened.
No caution, and that's what Isaiah Gill wants to see. We ran into that on Monday, a bunch of cautions early on that had a nice clean and green session towards the tail end of the race, and Gill would love to see another long caution-free run here because Turner is slicing up the competition. No yellows. It'd be pretty hard for the 9 car to get to the front, but we'll see how it pans out now as the 9 car gets by the 19 of Brandon White and starting to reel in your top 3.
Yeah, you see Turner. We got our new 2-car graphic that I failed to even use so far. But really running down Peach there. Let's see if we can get all 3 of these guys up into this one. But Peach is going to have Turner and Brandon White right on his back bumper as we have a 3-car battle here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Huge gap up to 2nd to that 74 car, but Turner trying to make something happen here and break himself into this top 3.
Yeah, he would love to clear these cars as quick as he can. He's using up the tires now as he tries to cut to the inside. As soon as he can, he'll get on top. As you see, he'll go around the lapped car, the 46, and now Turner single file again up towards the wall, and he'll set his sights on Brian Murrell Jr. for that 2nd spot as laps are winding down. 24 to go for Isaiah Gill. Can he go back-to-back this week?
I don't know, man. He right now he's doing a heck of a job. Only 1 pit stop for him. He's got 43 laps on his tires, double what the 9 car has. So freshest tires right now in that top 5 is the 9 of Bailey Turner. Interesting to see that. We'll see if we have some the biggest movers so far. Another new graphic. You see Merle started 13th. He's all the way up in 2nd. The biggest one in the top 5 right now. There could be bigger movers, but right now, this is your view right now. So 7 spots gained for Gill. Only 2 spots gained for Turner, even though he's went to the back 2 times. Each after his 3rd starting spot, sitting there still in the top 5. And then Brandon White moving up front.
Look at this guy pulling graphics out of everywhere. We don't even have enough laps to use all the graphics that you're showing, DJ, here tonight.
I also had a grid one that I totally forgot to use because I'm not used to using it, but I was ready for it. And
there you go. Hey, we'll debut it on Monday.
There you go. So that's that. Excited about it. Smoke coming out of the 36 car. Kevin Ostern. Something might have happened to that car. No caution, but no front end either for this 36. They're starting 10th. He's dropping back and looks like he's going to have to pull it down pit road unless he keeps trying to keep it out there on the track. You see some pressure right now. We got a battle for 2nd.
And Turner is going to want to make the pass as quickly as possible. You wonder if Murrell Jr. just gives up the spot because he knows the 9 car has fresher rubber and he'll just drop down in line behind him. Not going to make it easy though.
Yeah, not sure he's going to give him much of a choice. The 74, Murrell Jr. is a pretty hard-nosed racer, and he knows those points are valuable, and Turner's fast, so Turner's going to try to slide job him here. He's going to get the spot. So here we go. The 3 and the 9, 17 laps to go.
We'll keep an eye on that distance behind him there on your grid. Just a little over 4 seconds, and now into the 3.9 bracket as Turner is behind the 3 car of Gill. 17 laps to go. If he can knock off 0.2 a lap, he's going to get there, but will he have enough time to get by him? We'll keep an eye on that distance behind him.
Right now looking pretty good, about a full turn ahead of Turner with 2 lappers in between. But right now it's all Gill once again. 15 laps to go. Take a look around the track, see if we see anybody. We'll do a quick rundown for you though. Isaiah Gill leading the Jacobs 120. Bailey Turner in 2nd. Brian Murrell Jr. in 3rd. Tyler Peach in 4th. Brandon White 5th. Brett Merle, he's in 6th. Jason Chand is 7th. Great run going for that 4 car. Cheeseburger Lawrence in that 47 car. He's sitting in the top 10 right now. Great run going for him. Gannon Cyphers as well with a good run. He's sitting in 9th. A lot of damage to the right front of that 1 car, but still making it work. Andrew Ward sitting in 10th. Brad Curtis with some pressure from the leaders right now going by, putting him a lap down. He's just ahead of Josh McMillan. You got Gary Kleintobe out there a lap down as well. Siri Reed 3 laps down. James Moore 3 laps down. That's your top 15 for tonight's Jacobs TV 120.
I tell you what, DJ, I think we got to give a little attention to the 4 car of Jason Chan running in that 7th position. Really haven't mentioned his name all that much. Want to give him some TV time. A nice run for the 4 car, man. That's a bright looking paint job as we look out the windshield of the 4. Want to give him some camera time with that nice run, running just outside of the top 5 behind the 11 of Brett Murrell.
Yeah, awesome run for him. We've seen him have some kind of sour luck as the B mains and the heat races go on. Kind of been a part of a lot of the wrecks there, not to his own doing. But right now, you know, sitting in 7th spot, gotta love what he's seeing right now. Only took 1 set of tires, so he's on some used rubber, but closing in on 10 laps to go.
And up front, Turner cutting into that lead, but not enough every lap to make a difference. 3.150 behind your leader. A few laps ago, it was a full 4 seconds, so he's knocked almost a full second off the lead, but with laps winding down under 10 to go, I think the only thing that's going to help Bailey Turner is if we get a late caution here.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, you can't even barely see the 9 car in the back view here of the 3 car of Isaiah Gill. These guys are miles ahead right now, and I mean, it's just a good run. Stayed out of trouble. I think he was involved in that initial starting wreck there, that parking lot, if you will. So he came down, did his fast repair, and you know, it's working out for him, man. He's made his way all the way up to the front, hit that full invert, showed speed all day with being that fast qualifier. So he had himself a good run, and I think I want to say, did he get spun out in his heat race, Steve?
Man, I don't even remember. Don't remember. That's how long ago it was. But man, what a week for Gill if he can hold on and put this car in victory lane. 2 weeks or 2 wins in a row, a fast qualifier. That's what we call a good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Break out the broom there, Dad, and get to sweeping here as Isaiah is about to have himself a heck of a week. Coming up on the lapper of Andrew Ward. That's your top 10. So only 10 cars on the lead lap, and you can see the tail end right there.
He's probably screaming into his radio, hey, let's get these lap cars out of the way. Probably yelling at his sponsor, go talk to him, let him know I'm coming by. Laps winding down again, and Turner not making that much up in the distance part, because now Turner has some cars in between him and the leader. So, again, nice comfortable position for the 3 of Isaiah Gill.
Yeah, definitely showing some speed right now, but 3 laps to go. That leads 2.8 seconds, so he's getting held up here. He's got plenty of time, though, so just trying to click off the laps and make it happen. I'm assuming these are the longest 21-second laps of the night right now for the 3 car of Isaiah Gill, though.
And I didn't mention it, but I saw that fastest lap graphic you threw up there. I know you're trying to debut everything here before.
I'm toying with it. Yeah, I wanted to see what it was. Looks like just a 5.70. I was trying to see the fast lap of the 3 car. I didn't know if it did it on the car or just in general. But Brett Merle with a 5.70, and Isaiah Gill, if we can get his graphic up, his fastest lap, it doesn't show it, but it will in a second. His is a 5.71, so he's got a really good fast lap as well. He's getting the white flag in that Rusty's number 3 car with a pretty good lead, 2 seconds right now on Bailey Turner, and he's gonna get the W coming across the start-finish line. How about that graphic there, Steve? And the fastest lap in there to boot. But you're a winner.
Laps led 57, almost half of the races. Turner kind of runs up to him and gives him a bump of congratulations for winning the Redwood Acres Raceway Series, Jacobs TV 120. And man, what racing we have had this week, DJ.
Yeah, this was an absolutely good run here for the 3-car of Isaiah Gill. Getting to do some donuts for the second time this week here at the tricky Irwindale Speedway. Awesome to see him celebrate, as he had himself a heck of a race, man. You see those statistics, they don't lie. You see Brandon White flying by there. But pretty good run for him. We'll give ourselves a rundown here of this Jacobs TV 120 as chaos is ensuing there on the front stretch there. Hopefully in celebration. But,
yeah, the demolition derby follows the feature. It seems like
you just use what you got there at the end.
Yeah, man, and I tell you what, it's hard to get 2 wins in the same week in any racing series, let alone to do it with 2 different paint jobs. You think this is maybe a thing for the future? What kind of paint job are we going to see on that 3-car on Monday night?
I don't know, man, but I definitely keep it up, as it seemed to work for him, and you know, don't stop now. You know what I mean? You got the superstitious stuff going on, but here's your top 10 here, Steve. Isaiah Gill.
Yeah, go taking it home. Bailey Turner second, Brian Murrell Jr., Tyler Peach, Brett Murrell, Jason Chan, Michael Lawrence, your guy in 7th. Gannon Cyphers, a nice run, a rookie to this series. Brandon White, who was up and down most of the day, and Andrew Ward holding on to the top 10.
Yeah, great run for all those guys. Michael Lawrence, first start in the A main, the big show. Started all the way back up in 19th. His son Jacob putting on the show for us. Really appreciate that. Good run for that family here tonight. We'll take a look at the bottom half of the field here. Brad Curtis, who had some good practice times, had himself wound up in 11th. Josh McMillan, Gary Kleintobe as well, had a good practice run. He's in 13th. Siri Reed in that Grave Digger 46 is 14th. James Moore, 15th spot for him after starting up front. Deegan Cooker in the 16th position. Evan Ostern was just limping around there with that 36 car. Comes home in 17th. Clifford Meyer, who had himself a pretty good run. Not sure what happened. He dropped back and kind of stayed back there after the pit stop he made when he was in 2nd. He's going to end up 18th. Scott Sable in that 16 car. He's going to be 19th. And Eugene Palmer, who was leading this one early and kind of looped it around and kind of got KO'd there after a fast repair, so he didn't get a chance to make it back out onto the track. And Slick Rick Tillman in that 14 car, who did not start.
Well, and our full week continues again for you fans watching the Drive-In DJ Network. We'll be live again tomorrow night for the Grundy County Speedway Super Series presented by Shup Real Estate. Late model street stocks will be on tap tonight. You can see the information on the page a little bit later on. And then the big double header, man, we're going to be broadcasting probably about 8 hours on Saturday as the drivers will do the double. We will have a full-length 500-mile Indianapolis 500 in the Indy cars, and then at night doing the double, the Memorial Day weekend double Charlotte 600 from the Charlotte Speedway for the NASCAR style cars. So 1,100 miles, same series for those guys. Man, sitting in the rig for about 8 hours, DJ, that makes a long night for everybody.
Yeah, they if I were them right now, I'd want to get all the practice I could, but man, you got to take a break and kind of chill here, because that's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be stressful on the body. So just like them, we're gonna have to be hydrated and keeping the jaws working for 8 hours. I'm gonna have some fun here with you guys and Chris and everybody at the network. So we're real happy to be a part of that. But for everybody else tonight, Redwood Acres Raceway Series is gonna finish this one off at Irwindale. Isaiah Gill gonna take the win for the Jacobs TV 120. See you next time with this series on Monday, but we will be on air tomorrow night for our Grundy County Super Series events. Thank you everybody very much for joining, and we will see you next time.